Hey, gorgeous. How are you? Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday. Uh, I'm a little sleepy, but I decided, guess what? I think we're going to make a video today. I have been listening and reading about a lot of different things, particularly about women and transparency and dealing with their trauma and not letting it stop them in their tracks. And today I really wanted to talk about women who are 50 and up, because many, particularly Black women, we are tough, we are hard, sometimes we are strong. By the time we are 55, 60 years old, we are pretty set in our ways, and sometimes even when it doesn't serve us. However, it's really not too late. And so that's why I want to drive home to you ladies that it's not too late. It's just not too late to heal, to emerge powerfully with your voice and recreate a life that you love. And I know that may sound a little cliche, a play on words for Her Story Reimagined, as in her story, the play on the word history, her story. And the HER being the acronym for Heal, Emerge, and Recreate. But today, as Lorena Ann Belcher, I just want to say that we have been wearing a mask for a long time. Those of us who are 50, 60 and up. And we think that we have followed all the rules, so to speak. We have done all the things that we thought we were supposed to do. You know, you did the church thing. You believe God. Not that you should not, because my gosh, yes, you should. I won't even say should. I would invite you to believe in God as your higher power, for sure. Because believing in only yourself will get you tripped up, for sure. But I really want to get back to really leaning in and listening to your heart, because our hearts have been hardened, if we're telling the truth. The generation of ladies and young girls, I'm thinking about ladies in their 20s and 30s who are evolving, and where therapy is normalized. Therapy is, it's not a big deal. It's not this where the generational trauma has taught us to, 1, deny, 2, keep it a secret. What happens in here stays in here. 3, refuse to loosen up. Refuse to go back to that little girl. Go back to those dreams. Go back to anything that your heart desired. Yet, whether you felt it was the culture, it was societal norms, it's colorism, racism, whatever ism that exists, gender issues, all of that, I still say that's an excuse at this point. Because today, in these United States, you have way more opportunities than the women of color on our African continent or even the Asian continent. But the point I really want to make today is the only way we're going to heal, and healing is an ongoing journey. I do believe it doesn't end until we close our eyes. However, the healing of whatever traumas you endured, whether they were physical, sexual, emotional, divorce, any type of trauma, neglect, impoverished situations, just so many types of traumas, whether it's car accidents, grief, death, all types of different things. We do not have to accept that it's over. and I am a living witness. I'm sleepy because I've been up for it feels like 3 or 4 days straight, but I know it hasn't. I've slept 5 hours here, 6 hours here, or catnapped. My oldest had her baby yesterday, so I'm a GG of 2 boys now, and it was difficult. The labor was difficult. The experience was very traumatizing, if you will. However, when things don't go the way we want, or the way we like, or the way we plan, and something else intervenes, we have the opportunity to choose to stay in a state of woe is me, stay in a victimhood state, or stay in a hardened state. I don't need anybody, I'm so strong, this or that. There's nothing wrong with being strong, but we need each other. We need each other. We are connected and we need each other. And that can only happen with love. And that love begins with yourself. You love God, then you love yourself. And a lot of times we love God, and we still don't love ourselves. Ooh, that's another video altogether. But getting back to loving yourself through traumatic situations and choosing to heal versus being stuck. I am a coach, results coach, transformational coach, resilience coach, whatever way you want to call it. I call myself a transformational coach because I believe that we have the power within us to change, to transform into something else, to transform the way we think about the past. Because guess what? It's important to go back to the past to see where we've come from and to not bypass those hurtful times, those situations, the circumstances, whatever it is. And part of the healing is being compassionate and loving ourselves, being compassionate, loving ourselves. Stay in a place of gratitude. Take care of yourself first. Like I said, my oldest daughter was in labor for a couple of days, it seemed, and it's just really a difficult road. Middle girl was in the hospital with sickle cell disease, complications and issues. My youngest was having some other issues. She has issues with her liver, and she's on a transplant list. So, yeah, this mama has a full plate. Oh, yes, and by the way, my 92-year-old mother lives with me. So, yeah, I'm too exhausted to even try today. Coffee is cool, tea, and I don't have a whole lot of time for the other. I'll put it this way, I just haven't made the time. But putting myself first and teaching other women to do the same, oh Lord, that is of my utmost desire and goal. So as a coach, I help women heal from their past. I don't care how old you are. And really, I want to focus on those moms who are past their 50s, who think it's too late. You've neglected your health, your weight, what else? What else can I think of that we have tended to neglect? Our wellness, our place of creating a safe space for ourselves. Because we have done so much for others where it becomes resentful. And really that's on us. Because we really have to set those clear boundaries. And the boundary I set today was, I'm going to visit my daughter. I'm going to visit her tomorrow and give her a chance to kind of rest a little bit, give myself a chance to rest from appointments, hospitalization, pickups, all those things. And then I'm working on writing the book. So several books, but that's another video too. But I ask you to hold me accountable to finish up this Boundaries book, because it's going to be a series. And the first book is talking about personal boundaries, how vital it is to set personal boundaries. First, set the personal boundaries with ourselves. You know, not so much limits, but really just almost guideposts. What feels comfortable, what doesn't. And I don't mean comfortable, because staying in your comfort is not where the growth happens, Mama. No, ma'am, it does not. Where we are uncomfortable is where the growth takes place. And so I invite you to do things that are different. Really just do the opposite of what you want to do sometimes, and do the opposite of what you're thinking, because it's the scrolling, the cycling of the same thoughts each day that keep us stuck, for one thing. Ask questions. Ask yourself some questions. What if I thought about what I have overcome as opposed to what I've endured only? What if I use my imagination to create a life that works for me? And a lot of times when we say no to others, we're oftentimes saying yes to ourselves. Yes to that little girl. Yes to the older woman who was navigating. Girl, look at all these gray hairs, all these colors. The young girl who was yearning to be heard. And so we have to listen to her and reconnect to her. And so in the Boundaries book, it's going to talk about a lot of pitfalls we could avoid if we had set some healthy boundaries. And healthy boundaries can only happen when we are fully in love with ourselves. Not in a selfish, narcissistic way, but in a very wholesome, holistic, healthy way, that we put the oxygen mask on first. That we care for ourselves, and that means doing what you really want to do in the time frame that works for you, honoring your body, honoring your heart, honoring your time, honoring your emotions. So that's all I felt like talking about today was, trauma doesn't have to stay in the body. Last night I was working out so that I could get through this long labor. And it's coming along, y'all. It's coming along. This girl at 65 is getting it together. And so I invite you to come along for today's Tuesday's Truth. And so what's your truth about setting healthy boundaries, about navigating trauma, about believing the Bible, but not really having a relationship with God? Ooh. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you with a lot of questions. Feel free to put your responses in the comment. I would love it. Like, share, and subscribe. This is Tuesday's Truth. Let's go.